Welcome everybody. Uh we were gonna try to go live with Dub. Uh I sent him the message, the link. I don't know if he got it. We'll see in a minute. If he happened to pop in, that means we have a guest. If not, you're gonna go one with Dro's Beef. I hope y'all like my content. I talk a lot of wrestling, I talk action figures, stuff like that. If you've seen the show before, you know what it's all about. But if you hadn't, sit back, listen, and get your monster ready. Unofficially sponsored. Uh so we're gonna kick this thing started. What we're doing tonight, guys. This is beef, tips, and topics. I am that uncultured heathen. I am your boy Beef. So let's get this thing kick started. Right before we do, let's get it going. In case you didn't know by now, 4 letters, one word, woo woo, beef. All right, let's see. Let's see if this works. We're gonna try to add Dub in. Man. Hey, there he is.
Somebody.
The man, the myth, the legend, the one and only D to the Dub.
So it does work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to figure it out. It took me a few minutes, but I could send it straight to your phone. So as long as I had your number, I could just send you the link and you can come on. We don't have to use StreamYard or nothing like that.
I'm gonna cut you out back here.
Yeah, I was like, why am I echoing over there, man?
Yeah.
But at least I know you was watching. I appreciate that.
Hey, I was gonna stream it to the other guys too. You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, introduce yourself in case some people out there don't know you.
All right. My name's D Dub, and I like collecting wrestling, and we do multiverse, Marvel, pretty much anything figures.
And you're a big wrestling fan too, right?
Oh, big. Yeah.
Okay. Now we won't probably have time on this one to show, but ladies and gentlemen, this guy's a big collector as well and does a lot of sign stuff and everything like that. So y'all go check him out on all his platforms, whether it's Clapper, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Backyard, wherever it's at. Follow him, man. But we're gonna get this thing started. And Dub, I kind of told you a little bit, but we didn't have much time to talk. You've had some car issues. I've had some car issues, but we're not gonna talk about that. What we are gonna talk about is the road to WrestleMania. We're gonna talk rumors. We're gonna talk predictions and anything in between. So I'm gonna start out and see what your thoughts on. Let's talk about the women's title match. Not talking about Tiffany and Charlotte Flair yet. We'll get to that. Let's talk to the one everybody's talking about. Bianca versus should have been Rio, but is Io Sky. Is it gonna be a three-way? What are they doing?
I think we're getting the 3-way no matter what. I'm pretty sure now. But yeah, I don't know, man. It kind of made EO look a little weak the other night, just the way they did everything. You know what I'm saying? It kind of
Right.
exposed her a little bit to how much she can and can't do on like the promo side and the other side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
mean, I was okay with all the mush face and stuff because, I mean, it kind of hurts them in a way because they put her in that spot. Because, like you said, it did make her look weak. But compared to those two, not saying size is everything. You
right,
know, there's some talented people that are small and can still get you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But I don't want to speak for everybody, but I was ready for Bianca and Rio one on one. I don't know what Triple H or whoever was thinking to make this little twist. I mean, I kind of, in the back of my mind, I know what they were thinking. They're always thinking this and they do this to themselves. They're like, well, we don't want them to see what's coming. You know, nobody's going to think that EO's going to win. The only way this makes sense, and it's still a convoluted way to get around it, is if they make it where Bianca was behind this whole thing. Either Naomi's with her or she masterminded the whole thing, and then her being out there with Rio and getting Rio the shot is so she could just fight Rio or Rio EO and not have to face Rhea. There's a whole lot of R's and stuff in there, so R's and I's, R. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's the only way I think it makes any sense.
yeah, because that was something I did not see. Um, Bianca look at Jade Cargill when she came down the other day. I didn't see her look over at her and just, what I mean, go get her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see
Right.
her on TV. I seen it on another clip. And I was like, oh wow, she did tell her just go get her, you know what I'm saying? Out to whoop her, you know what I
Well,
mean?
she didn't want that beast coming after her.
Oh no, I wouldn't either.
No, I don't blame you. That's a big girl, but she's got if she can get the wrestling part down, she can really have a mainstay if she wants to. And I think she wants to. I think she wants to be a star, and I just don't think AEW. I don't want to bring AEW in here too much because that's not what we're talking about. And I can get off on a tangent every now and then. But I don't think they gave her enough work and just tried to push her with that, like they did with Goldberg, not AEW, but WCW. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Here's the TNT title, and here you go.
yeah, and off to the races. I mean, 193 matches later, and then you drop her and she's out the company. I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of other ways to build this, guys. But like the live, share the live. Make sure y'all come in. If y'all got questions, you got your own predictions, let me know. But hopefully we'll get this figured out in a week or two before we get to WrestleMania. But all bets are saying it's going to be a three-way. I'm not a big fan of all three ways and four-way matches. Every now and then, like when it means something, like say Seth, Punk, and Roman, if this is a three-way, if it's for the number one contendership, I'm okay with that.
Right. Yeah. Like why are they fighting? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's got to be some reason, not besides they just all don't like each other.
Yeah. I get what you're saying there. But yeah, I think too, they're like trying to bring a lot of back like to the ladies, they're trying to bring a lot of more people interested in the women's part of the wrestling, you know what I mean? But like you said, I think it's gonna backfire on them with this one, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted Io Sky in there, they should have mixed her in against a Chelsea Green or whoever has the other title. Who is it? God, I can't even think of her name.
Um
Uh, I
you
went
talking about
blank.
you talking about is it Tiffany? Tiffy?
No, no, not Tiffany, not Flair. The other one of the United States or Intercontinental.
Oh, yeah, I know who.
Laya Valkyrie or
Yeah,
whatever.
Valkyrie. Yeah,
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 do that.
yeah,
Do that. Don't do this here.
yeah.
It just doesn't fit to me. I mean, granted, it's their company. Hold on, man. I hope this don't cut us off, but I've got to check my Wi-Fi. I think I'm on, but everybody seeing me good, I hope.
Yeah,
Okay.
Valkyrie, Howie. Yep,
Howie, is everything look good on your end? Everything coming through clear?
yeah.
Testing one, two.
They
But
went.
yeah, I mean, they could have done something like that. You know what I mean? Even if it was Chelsea Green, I'd have been fine with that.
Right.
Uh, but let's get into some of the more rumor stuff that we don't know for sure is true, but things that may be happening. Uh, let's get into the Judgment Day. We keep hearing about a new member of the Judgment Day. Okay, we know Dom and Finn are having a little issue because Dom's costing him, title shots or titles and this and that, whoop de woo, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, I think this is what I think, and see if you agree. I don't know. I think Finn Balor becomes the demon for a little while anyway. He leaves the Judgment Day. He goes, maybe not necessarily joins the Wyatt Six, but he does help them fight off the Judgment Day and they put them in a feud. This is what I think. And I think the new member is not only a member, but the new leader and is one and only Aleister Black.
I could see that. I could see that really. I mean, I can see him doing the demon thing because they've been showing so many, like the cooler in the background and
Exactly. The little pictures in the
yeah,
back.
little pictures, and they like throwing those little Easter eggs in there. You just got to
And,
pay.
and- yeah, and I like that. That's a good thing to do because that makes you want to pay attention.
Right.
To where sometimes you'd be like, I don't really care about this, but then you see a clip and it's like, well, shit, I missed that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes back, like, even like you said, the White Six, back to like Nikki Cross, what she was doing, you know what I mean, with dropping the title in the trash can like she did, acting all crazy, and you know what I'm saying, and then you started seeing the butterfly or whatever it was in the background of a lot of the venues that they were having and promo
Right.
stuff, and I
And,
like that's it keeps you guessing too.
yes. And I think that's what a lot of it's about. Now, we don't need all the spooky stuff, I don't think,
Right.
but it's good to try to guess and see where things are going. I also think Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss fight Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez Gonzalez Fuentes, whatever her name is, for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles at WrestleMania.
Um, I could see that because isn't she like um didn't she come out with the doll like last week? I think ain't she like doing like the doll thing again?
Alexa Bliss?
Yeah,
Well, she's always been with part of Bray Wyatt since he was around, since all that happened. I
yeah,
actually think they should let her, if they're gonna do it, just be the leader of it. It doesn't work with Bo Dallas trying to be the leader or Uncle Howdy Doody or whatever the hell his name is.
yeah. Because I think they started off with that storyline with Bray, and they're trying to continue off of it, and it's hard to do that when someone's passed away. You know what I'm saying? On the other end, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? I love Bray Wyatt to death, man. He was one of the top guys out there.
Right.
Like
And,
his mind, the way his mind worked with matches and stuff like that, man, it's just there'll never be another like him.
exactly. Real quick, thank you, Howie. Welcome in. And Jason Brophy, welcome in from Calgary or wherever, man. Hey, it's awesome to hear about your LJNs, and we will get more into figure stuff as we go down the road. But we're just talking wrestling tonight. But it's always a pleasure to see somebody else who loves collecting action figures. A couple things before we get off. I don't want to get too off track. Bray Wyatt. I was a big fan of Bray Wyatt. I was not a fan of the whole Fiend thing. I like the Firefly Funhouse stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. Dude had a great mind for the business. His ring work wasn't great. And
Right.
the only thing I can say about his mic work is, granted, he was great and he could draw you in, but then at the end of it, you're like, well, what did he really even say? What was the point?
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it, but I'm still confused. What,
Right.
where did we get to anything? Where does it end?
Yeah. And then you got
But
to wait weeks down the road before you find out what he was talking about.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, but yeah, I think they've dropped the ball on the Wyatt Six so far. I think anyway. And like it's hard to put a bunch of guys like that together in a faction. You know what I'm saying? Not all factions do great. You know what I mean? So
Well,
what?
a faction is not going to get over with a bunch of mid carders, and no offense to any of them. I mean, you're doing more than I am. I'm just sitting behind
Yeah,
a microphone talking shit.
yeah,
So I give you all the credit in the world. I'm not discrediting any of you, from the
right,
curtain jerkers to the mid card to the
right.
people doing the interviews. I credit you for everything you've done.
This
But
is just
there's certain people, and this
yeah,
goes back to what I always say with Dusty Rhodes: don't do shit you don't know how to do.
right,
Don't do shit you don't know how to do.
yeah,
You can't take this mid-level people and expect them to elevate this much,
right,
you know? And for a guy like Bo Dallas, he is kind of talented in the ring and stuff, but he's never been a great talker. I don't think nobody believed back then. I
right.
don't think they believe now. So you can't take him and Dexter Loomis, these other lower card guys that are still decent workers, but it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
The job squad didn't go nowhere, but at least you had some higher talent up in there.
Yeah.
When you had Al Snow and Big Show and stuff like that. This this is like a generic version of the Dork Order, to be honest.
And I like Dexter Loomis, man, when he was doing his own thing with the whole Miz thing, you know what I mean? Stalking him and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I like that. That was getting over to me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then they just up and you didn't hear from him. The next thing you know, he's got dreadlocks and all this going on. And wow.
And I didn't mind what he was doing in NXT with that kind of stuff
Right.
until he got with Johnny Sameface and them, and then it kind of just brought everybody down.
Yeah.
Real quick, Note Easy, man, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. If you guys do like this live, please subscribe to me, subscribe to Dub, hit the likes, hit the follows, all that kind of stuff. So real quick, because we could go a long ways with Bray and Wyatt 6 and all that. But last point to that is I told you it was not going to work. I understand why people wanted it to work because of the sentiment and what it meant to Bray Wyatt. Everybody wanted to remember him, but this wasn't the way to do it because it was just going to hurt part of his legacy to me. But that's my opinion. I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong because it's my opinion. But we'll get off of that. Let's talk a little bit about Charlotte and Tiffy. Now, because we know that match is set. There's a lot of these matches we don't know that are set yet for WrestleMania. So we can't get too in depth with the predictions and stuff like that. So this is more rumors and innuendo, that Bruce Pritchard don't deal with. Well, we deal with them over here. Uh, this ain't something to wrestle with. No Bruce Pritchard. But so what do you think about the Tiffy Charlotte?
I think it's going to be a good match. Um, I think it's going to be a real good match, actually. You know what I'm saying? I think I would have rather had seen her and Rhea. You know what I mean? Go at it. You know what I'm saying?
Me
Because
too. Even though we've seen it, we didn't get to see it with really people around because that
right,
was COVID era, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure it was. Um, and but I mean, look how far Tiffany's came. You know what I'm saying too. She's up there too. You know what I mean? Just like when I went and met Trish the other day, you know what I'm saying? And I had a blast doing that. Um, she was so cool, you know what I mean? When I talked to her, she was like, "Man, that felt like months ago that we just did that match, and it was 3 days before that." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was a great match with her and Nia Jax, and who else was in that?
Candace LaRue or
Yeah,
LaRae,
yeah,
Johnny Sameface's wife.
yeah. But but yeah, Flair and her, I think it's going to be really, really competitive.
But is there any way you think Charlotte's not winning this?
I, I can't say. It's what I'm saying. They've been surprising me lately. You know what I mean?
I don't think there's any way Charlotte doesn't win.
Yeah.
I mean, that gives her title 15. She'll probably lose it on Raw or SmackDown or the next premium live event.
Right.
Real quick, not getting off of things. Does anybody really care about the premium live event, or do you think we should still call it pay-per-views? Even though mostly, I guess you're really not paying for it if you're watching it on the network or Peacock or whatever, you're still paying for it. You pay for the subscription, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're still paying for it. So still a pay per view, but however they want to say it, that's like what is it? Wrestling and sports entertainment.
exactly.
Uh,
I mean, I wish we'd go back to just calling it wrestling, but it has pretty much just became sports entertainment, to be honest. I
yeah.
mean, you go back and watch one of these Raws or SmackDowns, and the first four segments are talking,
Yeah.
but
Jo-
that's what's getting us. That's what's getting us in.
yeah.
And I think that's what hurts AEW. is because they want to try to have all this in ring stuff because everybody says, I just want to see a good wrestling match. No, we don't. We want the drama. We want to see what somebody's going to say, what they're going to do,
Right.
and when AEW does try it, they just don't have the right people to do it.
Yeah.
But now
That's
there's a few, not everybody. Don't take that out of
yeah.
context.
Yeah. I,
But Moxley ain't one of them. But but the
uh,
Herd Syndicate, they're doing great over there.
yeah.
You think Luke? You think Tiffany will win? Okay, I mean, I don't think so, but I wouldn't be mad if she didn't or if she did.
Yeah.
I just want to see a good match, but I still say Charlotte wins because I think we'll get to the other stuff in a minute that'll tie some of this in. But I think they're trying to build her up, and she'll have the longest, most heavyweight or most titles ever.
That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. I'm thinking Charlotte Flair wins and we get Becky Lynch back.
Probably. Oh, and real quick, I said we deal in rumors and innuendos, but I want to clear up something. There has been speculation, there has been rumors. I've even mentioned it about Seth and Becky, but as far as I know right now, nobody has confirmed that. So I'm laying off of that till I hear something else. I
Right.
got that strictly from my sources, and when I say sources, that's me reading the internet. But it just sounds better when I say that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Course,
like
hey,
everybody else, yeah, my source told me.
yeah.
Whatever. You're reading and listening to other stuff that other people are saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
so right now, you're hearing it right now. It's nobody's saying anything. Could be a possibility, but until one of them says it, I'm not going to mention it anymore because it's
And
not for me to say. That's their business. You know what I mean?
if you're that invested, then just keep watching for the newspapers to come out because they'll mention it in the newspaper. Won't they?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, everything you hear on the internet is true. So, just stick with that. Just stick with that.
Now I did see that TMZ the other day reported that they seen Vince McMahon at a basketball game, so it was like the second outing they've seen him since everything happened.
Well, he was at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, in the Super Bowl.
He was at the Super Bowl with Shane and Undertaker.
Yep, yep.
And everybody's speculating, talking about rumors and innuendos that Vince has got a new company coming and he was there to talk to Fox about trying to get on the network.
Yeah, I just don't see them. I don't see nobody backing him. He's too.
I don't either, but man, you never know.
But yeah, you're right there. You never know. Money talks.
Exactly. And Howie, I agree with you. Flair could win it and then lose on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Not sure if that's exactly when it happens, but at least probably by the next pay-per-view or whatever. Um,
Well, I mean, look, and not only that, they just didn't they have a title change on SmackDown the other night? Street Profits.
yeah,
What?
the street party, street profits.
Yeah.
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 Who they beat? The War Raiders
No, they
are pretty dreadful.
it might have been War Raiders.
I can't remember.
Yeah, and I think Pretty Dreadful was in line next to challenge, maybe.
Oh Lord.
I seen them watching the TV. That I actually missed that segment, and I came
I
back.
thought somebody told me they put the titles on Pretty Dreadful.
Oh, did they?
That's what I heard. I don't know.
No, I thought the Street Profits won them.
Hmm.
It was Champa, yeah, Champa and Gargano, yeah. They
Oh,
did.
okay, yeah.
That's what I thought when I come back.
DIY, and I never understood that name. What? Come on now. We all know what DIY means, but what did you do yourself?
Right? Yeah.
I don't, I don't know. But anyway, to each their own. Uh,
Uh,
so I ask you real quick if you got anything else you want to touch on before we get to kind of the main event coup de grace thing I want to talk about. So, you got anything else you want to discuss right now?
no, not really.
Okay, I'm glad you're so easy.
Yeah, my heart to please.
All right, so here's the thing. We talked about rumors. We talked about innuendo. It's going to be a lot of that right here, right now. And what we're going to get to talking about is John Cena, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and all that in between. Now, there is rumor and speculation that this is going to be a faction. Now, unfortunately, it's probably going to have whatever this guy's name is that don't know how to throw a working slap. But Travis Scott. But apparently it's supposed to be 4 wrestlers from what I've been hearing. So you got The Rock, you got Cena. This is my suggestion and theory. I think the next one is L.A. Knight. Yeah. Okay. Fourth one, because it's all got something to do with hand signals and numbers, supposedly from The Rock. Now, I
Right.
don't really remember LA Knight throwing up twos and stuff, but some people are saying he was. But we all know who throws up the ones.
Right. Yep.
Roman Reigns.
Yep.
That
Uh,
is my theory. Now, some people have a theory that one of them is going to be Jey Uso, which I kind of understand that. But I don't think with him being so over right now that it really fits.
right. Well, I did watch a thing, something about which I watched. You ever watch Wrestlemania on YouTube?
I haven't in a long time, but I know who it is. Yeah.
That's one of the like the highlight reels I like watching. You know what I'm saying? Because they're pretty much on their stuff too. You know what I mean about the BS and what's BS and
Right.
what's not. But I seen on there that something was going on with plans for Cena, so he might be extending. You know what I mean? However long he's going to be in retirement or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say we could get like a good faction out of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think he is gonna extend. Uh, but I think you need the other 2 people. Now, here's the thing that only makes me wonder maybe about Roman, because we know Roman is on a light schedule too. So maybe you'd want 2 guys that are doing a heavy schedule. So it could be Jey Uso and LA Knight,
Yeah,
something like that.
or Jimmy.
Yeah, a guy at work mentioned Jimmy to me today, and the reason I understand why you say that. But
Right.
it looks to me like they want to take baby faces and turn them heel. Like The Rock took their soul. They sold their soul to The Rock.
No,
Jimmy's been made mostly a heel anyway, so it kind of doesn't have the same meaning behind it. You know what I mean?
yeah. What
Not that it's
about
a bad option. I mean, I understand it, but
Solo? What's happened with him since the whole Fatu thing and that?
yeah, I mean, I could see somebody mentioning that, but I just don't. Then again, I don't think he was ever like babyface enough to fit the whole thing they're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I wish it would be a group like the NW. I wish they would even call them the NWO. If I was to change the name though, I would call them the HWO, Hollywood World Order. Because look, if you had Roman, you had Cena, and you had Rock, there's Hollywood.
Yeah.
LA Knight wants to be Hollywood,
Yeah.
so it would fit.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be too bad. And I mean they've done
And it
LWO.
would really piss off Hogan.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So even better.
yeah, yeah. I can.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You're cutting out real bad, Dub. Your facial is. You're over here glitching on me.
I can see that happening.
And see, Luke, I actually thought of Logan Paul too. That was actually one of my first guesses. But then, like I said, when I thought about it, it doesn't really make too much sense selling the whole soul thing because we all know Logan Paul don't really have a soul anyway, and people already hate him. You know,
Yeah,
so that made me backtrack that a little bit. But I think that would have been good. You could try to make him from that group. You know what I mean? The only thing I would worry about is if they had him in there, he would be the one having to take all the pinfalls and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And then you're really not building anybody there. Yeah, I think he's good now on my end, Howie. He froze for a second.
yeah. I think it was picking up back noise.
Hey, kid, welcome in, man. We're just talking WrestleMania rumors, innuendo, and predictions because this ain't something to wrestle with. We do rumors and innuendo. In your window, out your window, through your door, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, definitely out the door.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. You know, I'm old. We got all kinds of sayings like that. So, who else do you think it could be, if anybody else?
As far as any, I don't think that we're going to step too far out of the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? And not the bloodline, just the bloodline of, you know what I mean, Rock's family. Um, so, but I can see LA Knight and that happening. I really
You
can.
know, now somebody, yeah, Howie said too. Somebody said CM Punk. I don't really think CM Punk because I don't think he would want to waste all those promos that you could get from CM Punk going after Cena and The Rock and whoever else. You
Now,
know,
what would be the benefit? Are we like working up to like War Games? Because when's War Games?
it's toward the end of the year, isn't it?
Is it? Okay, yeah, yeah, it is. Like I don't know, like who would they actually like fight? You know what I'm saying? Like Rock and all them. I know
Well,
if
it'd be Cody, CM Punk,
CM Punk,
you know, whoever else is
maybe
good at that time.
yeah,
Jay Uso, if he don't turn.
yeah. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of working parts there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, but
I mean, but I really think they are going to do that. I think they are going to make a faction. I'm just curious to see how they go with it, what they do with it, and how it all meshes out and links together. You know, but I would not do the CM Punk thing because I just would not want to waste. I mean, if you look, who would he be going after on the other side? Tearing apart Jay Uso, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. He's already done that.
you're
I
right.
mean, what better way to have CM Punk and Rock going at it on the mic?
Yeah.
CM Punk and Cena, which I don't think Cena can hold a candle to Punk in the microphone area.
No. I I can see I can see I tell you what too, I could see McIntyre maybe too. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought about McIntyre too, but then when I thought about it, you know, he's mostly a villain all the time anyway.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
But I think the reason I'm saying that is because him battling with everybody right now. You know what I mean? He's battling with Seth Rollins and Roman and all them too, because he's still
yeah.
making the Royal Rumble. So I
I
mean,
mean, I wouldn't be against it. I'm just and it may be just the way I'm thinking. Maybe that's not it. Maybe that's not the way they're going. Maybe they do just draw a couple more heels in there. And it'd
right,
be fine too. But I mean, the way I'm talking it, you got to be careful though, because you don't want to take all your baby faces and turn them heel, because
right,
then you got no baby faces. Then
right,
you look like AEW. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, and
And
and that's what The Rock said the other night too. You know what I mean? He's like WrestleMania is already planned. You know what I mean? The week after that's already planned. You know what I'm saying? They're thinking already 6 months down the road, a year down the road already.
right,
You know,
but once again, like we said with the demon, I like the way the Rock is doing it with the fingers, the numbers, whatever you want to call it,
right?
you know, and just listening to what they say and trying to make sense of it all and see who's doing what. And, you know, the whole Roman Reigns jumping on Punk because that's my wise man, you know.
Yeah, Yeah. So
I
and I
mean, if you can fight over a bracelet, you can fight over a manager, I guess,
hey Paul Heyman
or counsel.
fight over.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. My tribal chief.
I am the advocate for the reigning, defending, undisputed.
And that's something too. I think they're working up for Dom to fight Finn Balor eventually too. But just Dom, I don't. The boy don't have no credit. You know what I'm
So
saying?
is that going to be the match at Mania? Or
I don't. I don't think so. I think he's still wanting to try to get into that. I think he's still like into that intercontinental picture right now. You know what I'm saying?
well, I
With
don't want to see him in Breaker
Penta,
Mania.
I'd say it's gonna be him and Penta, because he's wanting to get in there with Breaker. Penta is.
Yeah.
Uh, and
I,
yeah,
honestly, guys, I don't think that's going to be a good match, which y'all think it is, but we'll see.
I can't say, man. You know what I mean? I can't say. I think he's getting better. You know what I mean? He is getting a lot better, and he's starting to settle down into his groove. You know what I'm saying? It's just, can everybody else work with him too? And he has worked with a lot of these guys before. Like
Right.
Gunther. He worked with Gunther.
I mean,
Um,
I like him better since he's been here than since he was in AEW. Don't get
right,
me wrong, but I'm still not sold on the whole, you know,
right.
Cerro, whatever, Meadowlark, Lemon, whatever stuff he be doing. Yeah, maybe he's the next one. I don't know.
No fear. I think that's what it stands for. Is no fear.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, and let's not forget too, we got Ray Phoenix coming.
Yes.
Oh, and then like you said, Aleister Black's coming back. So I mean, we're getting a lot of these guys back that
Are we getting Miro back
I would like to see
or
that.
Rusev?
I would I would like to see that. Not him as Miro, but maybe as, I don't think he would be as be Rusev, would he?
Yeah.
Again,
I don't see why he wouldn't.
I mean, he can't act Russian.
Why not?
Well, I guess he could,
But
but ain't nobody gonna believe it. You know what I mean?
he's actually Bulgarian, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
So
um, he would definitely play a good like Mexican American. You know what I'm saying? Because where he's from down that way. So yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's the wrong move to put Penta over Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Like right now, anyway, unless you got plans for putting something else on Braun, you know what I mean? And we're going to see that.
Braun should have at least a year run and then put him up into the title picture.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to see that. We're going to see it. It's coming.
Braun Breaker is that good. If I was starting a company right now, two people out of the four I would start mine with are Braun Breaker and Logan Paul.
Yep. Yep.
And then I'd work my way to figure out the rest.
Yeah, for sure. And and you can even get a lot of guys from, because they, don't get me wrong, even though they are in AEW, you know what I'm saying, you could still get guys from there and teach them right. You
Yeah.
know.
Some of them. Not
Yeah.
Jungle Jack off, but some of
Yeah. Yeah. We're not talking about Jungle Boy.
them.
Marco. Oh, God, that
But
boy, that those gimmicks killed me. Like, you gonna bring a 2 foot tall boy out here to fight this big guy? I mean, come on, Marco Stunt.
oh, you talking about Marco Stunt, man? I'd forgot about him. Thank God.
Oh man.
Man. Yeah, probably give it to Penta. No, I think it's a little too early to do that, but you might be right. They might be fast forward hitting the fast forward button. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how long Braun Breaker's in there, But when I first saw this kid, I said, give this kid 3 years and he's going for the world title. Now, he may have been in there a little longer than that now, counting his NXT time, but
Right.
you could just see it.
When he got called up, what, 2 years? I think it's been 2 years. He's been up. I
So,
think.
what, probably 4 years he's been in there
I
now?
think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So, taking a little longer than I thought, but we all
Yeah.
know how it is. I mean, it's
And
hard to break through.
the minute I found out he was a Steiner, I was like, yeah,
And that's the other thing. And I understand some ways of why they do it with these names and stuff because they want to own the rights.
yeah,
But when you got a notable person like that, put the Steiner name on him. What's wrong with Braun Steiner?
yeah, yeah, or whatever he's called, um, something with Steiner in it. You know what I mean? Shit, you can call him Rick Steiner Jr. You
Because
know?
I think their real last name is like Rex Steiner or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I understand they want to label stuff and own the rights to it, but sometimes there's nothing wrong with a person's real name, and
Right,
sometimes it is worth it to change the name.
right.
You
Yeah.
know, but
I mean, look, you got Ted DiBiase Jr. So,
I mean, now if your name is like Harry Franklin, okay, yeah, we're gonna find you a new name, bro.
yeah, yeah. Harry Franklin Rollins.
Yeah, good one.
But
But you got anything else, Dub? Anything else you want to touch on? You want to talk about?
no, I think we pretty much covered everything. Because are they doing 2 nights again this year?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So we're going to have some more matches probably added to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, there's only 6 to 8 matches that have been set,
yeah, yeah,
and plus we already think that one's turning into a 3-way and all that stuff. So
yeah,
there's more to come. You know, they haven't they haven't announced the United States Women title, the Intercontinental title,
yeah,
women's. They hadn't even announced the tag team titles, but I brought it up. But so there's a lot of matches coming. You figure you're gonna get what, at least 8 matches on each night, probably.
yeah, something around that
You
area.
know, even though I don't know, they've only been giving us 4 matches the
Yeah,
last 2 pay-per-views, but those were Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber matches. You
yeah,
won't have no matches that consist of an hour long on there.
right.
Hopefully not.
Like WrestleMania, that's their blowout show. So
Yeah. I
that's
mean, usually,
uh,
hey, Section 4, welcome in. Yeah, you came in late, boss. Um, I actually figured out how I can do this, so I'll have to get a hold of you and see if I can bring you in sometime and we can do a show together on here.
yeah, this is pretty much
Uh,
a test run.
I can get him on here and cut a promo on him live.
There you go.
But I'm glad we found this feature, or I found this feature, but you helped me try it out, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
So it is on there. You don't even have to use the StreamYard. Like I said, I just copied the link, I sent it to you. Boom, we came right in. Whoop de woo, whatever.
Yeah, it was
Chelsea Green versus Piper Niven. I don't want to see that, but it is what it is. Uh
Dewdrop.
Yeah, man, I'm glad they changed her name back though. They shouldn't have done that poor girl like that, calling
I'd like
her
to
Dewdrop.
see I'd like to see her work her way up to battle Nia Jax.
Now, see, I would rather see that than her versus Chelsea Green.
I mean, two
I
big
mean,
girls.
I understand the story because Chelsea just uses her and stuff like that. But
Right.
a couple more things I want to just touch on before we leave. Why? Which I know some of it may be him wanting to do that, but I don't understand how the WWE and AEW could let Matt Cardona go on this long as the indie god and not sign this guy and be able to do something with him. This guy is too talented in the ring and on the mic, and all the other stuff he has that he could bring attention to your company, but yet he's still out there on the indies. Now I know I think he likes doing that, and he's doing pretty well at it. But come on, I would take Matt Cardona even over an Austin Theory, and I'm a big Austin Theory guy.
Yeah, I mean, because he's like he's doing some TNA. He was doing some TNA shows too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he pops in here and there because Brian Myers is in TNA fully. He signed with him.
Right. And yeah, because he was there that weekend. I went to North Carolina. Um, they were together because that's where I got their signatures at that meet, and he was there. So I'd love to see him get back in WWE, man. Just not under no Zack Ryder, you know what I'm saying?
No, he could be the Deathmatch King or
Yeah,
whatever. I mean,
yeah,
he's got 100 aliases he could go by.
yeah, yeah. Or just keep Cardona. You know that works too.
I
So,
mean, I just think he's too talented of a guy.
do you think?
Like with Ryback. Ryback was talented in a way, but Ryback had some issues. You
Yeah,
know,
and
to where I don't see you having those issues with Cardona. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
But that was just one thing I wanted to bring up. Now I'm not discrediting Brian Myers. I think Brian Myers is a great hand,
Oh yeah,
but to me, he doesn't get over with me as well as Cardona does. I guess because Cardona has a big charisma, you
right,
know, and character,
right.
and I like that aspect.
Yeah,
Uh, Not that there's nothing wrong with Brian Myers, and he's humble and down to earth, and still a great wrestler. Just never going to be up there on probably anybody's real radar.
and
One of the most underrated wrestlers.
yeah. And he said, "A Town Down Under needs to win a match." Yeah, I didn't like how they did Austin Theory the other night either. Man, they made that boy look weak, 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 weak.
And see, there's another thing. I don't know what happened to this guy. This guy had all the trajectory that within 2 to 3 years ago, I thought him and Braun Breaker would be fighting each other for the world title.
Right, right.
And now he's just fell so far down the card. I don't know if they just don't like him, if he's hard to get along with, or he's
You
not
know,
improving. I don't know. I mean, he come in, he got that win over Cena like at what, Mania or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and then just you
yeah,
paired him up Grayson Waller. Like I said again, no disrespect to some of these other guys. You're doing way more than I ever have
yeah.
and ever was. So don't take it wrong when I say that, but just
It's just yeah, it's just the way the characters go from our perspective, not nothing that they do as human beings. They're probably all great human beings. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, I would never discredit them because, like you, they are. You know,
yeah, and don't get me wrong. Anybody that does sports or anything, and I say that, don't get me wrong. I cannot do what they do, so they're
right,
way levels above me. It's just there's some people in the business I don't think they're on the level with. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah,
Now Section 4 said his dream match for Mania is L.A. Knight, yeah, versus I Believe in Joe Hendry. Even though he stole my gimmick, but I would love to see that match as well.
Now I think they said that he's supposed to be pairing up with Jimmy, maybe, to do a match over in Glasgow. I think.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Who? Joe Hendry?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's was it Monday night? I think for Raw.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure neither, but I think yeah, he's supposed to or they're supposed to do a match over there or something. And I think
Luke, and I think you got a point there. I thought that too. I think that Vince liked him so much that they kind of just were like, "Nah, we're not pushing you."
I
Maybe,
think you're
maybe he had the stink of Vince on him. I don't know, but the dude is too talented to be where he's at now.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
most definitely, yeah. Yeah, and I mean to take you from up here, United States champion, you know what I mean, next in line to get intercontinental, you know what I'm saying, and then now you're just
Yeah, and then you were in a tag team, had the titles, but you were the one taking the pinfalls. Why wasn't Grayson Waller not taking the pins?
Right. Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah. LA Knight is the goat.
LA Knight is the GOAT. I don't agree with you there, but hey, you can have your opinion just as well as I can. Okay, A Town Under versus Jay Uso in a question mark Raw main event. Okay, so we're gonna get Joe Hendry.
Well, they said it could be because I guess he's over there too right now in the same area, and he tweeted out something that said, "Say his name and he appears," and then put like some kind of weird thing on it. So
Got you. Man, I like it. I like what he's doing, man. I give that dude all his props.
yeah,
So
hey, that I'll tell you that him and the Hardys. I seen them in North Carolina, man. That was a real good show. I thought they did a good job, man.
now I'd be honest, I wish the Hardys would get out of the ring.
Right. They are.
If they want to mentor somebody or something, that is fine. Do behind the scenes, do all that stuff. But God,
Yeah.
I watch the way they move and their bodies and stuff and their timing, and you can't beat Father Time, bro.
No, especially Matt.
Father Time gets us all, man. Just step out of the ring, man.
I think Matt's had hip issues all his life,
Oh yeah, that dude can barely walk, man. He looks like me when I get up in the morning.
but they were still just as chippy. You know what I'm saying? When I met them the other day, man, they were all
And,
smiles
and
and
I
I,
know we're about to get off here, but one of the hardest things, and you see this all the time, is the wrestling. It's a bug, man. It gets into you. You love it. You can't get rid of it. You want to still be in there, and it's
yeah,
hard. Except for some people like Stone Cold who got out early, whether it was due to injuries or they just had enough money to make their own beer and ranch and all that and move on. But
yep,
you still want to do it.
yeah, and
Like
he's
Flair. Flair was wrestling at 73.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
heart
I don't know
attack.
if you can call it wrestling, but he was in the ring. But
He about died on him that night.
nah,
So
he just went to sleep.
where's that F and F from pen at? Oh, oh man.
But Dub, man, I just want to thank you, man. Appreciate you coming in here. Uh, this was just a hit and run thing thrown together to see if we could figure this out, and we did figure it out. So we know how to bring each other on. So if we want to do the multi live guest thing, we will. So Section 4 Wrestling, get at me one of these days. You'll have to come on with me, my man. And we can go one-on-one, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, face-to-face, fist to cuffs, and get it on. But, Dub, if you got anything to say, tell them before we head out here.
Um, he said Stone Cold needs to return and beat The Rock. I think we might get that too. I
Yeah, I
think
think
he
you
is.
might get that.
So, but no, I ain't got nothing else to say, man.
All right, man, Dub, I thank you, man, always for having my back and helping out. Are you going on live anywhere tonight, or?
I was thinking about putting that War Games together, but I might save it and take it with me down to Chris's there.
All
So,
right. Well, you might not want to do that because it's going to be heck breaking back together.
yeah, yeah. So I might
Yeah.
hop on there and do it. I don't
It,
know.
it's bigger than you think it is.
Oh yeah, you put it together?
No, but I've seen somebody.
Okay.
I've
I,
never had the War Games itself,
uh,
except for the older one that was smaller than that. But
yeah. This one's the one with Butch in it. So
okay, Section 4, we'll make that happen. But, Dub, thank you again. Thank you, everybody else, for showing up. This has been another episode of Beef Tips and Topics with the special guest, my man D Dub. And you know what we always say? We the ones. And I may be leaving, but I'm still that uncultured heathen.